That's helpful.
Well done over there. Seems to be going pretty well. How do you judge whether it's team A's now? I mean, Ireland are plucky fighters and whatnot. But are you entirely happy with what you've seen in this series and also in the T20s against England?
Yeah, I am. I think we played some really good cricket over the tour so far against a strong lineup in England. The two wins that we did have were quite convincing as well. Playing against Ireland as well. I don't think they're any pushover team. They've got some players, as we saw in the first game, that can really put bowling attacks under pressure as well. We got ourselves into a bit of trouble today, but our middle order really came good. So there are a lot of great things that I've seen so far. I'll never ever say we're the finished product. I think we can keep challenging each other and keep improving in different aspects of our game. Yeah, from the tour perspective, I'm happy where we are at the moment, but there are certain areas that I think we can still improve on. There's always room for improvement.
Thanks, Telford. Nathan, then Zahir.
First, congrats on another series victory. Mark, prior to leaving South Africa, you still had question marks about the batters and where players were in terms of form. Now that what Ball Cricket Tour has concluded for now till India, does this now mean you have clarity in the players you're looking to have the squad moving forward, or are there more headaches, especially with the revelation of Rizal, rookie Tristan Stubbs with Riley in the mix, even today with Carney getting a 5 and not forgetting Timber at home as well?
I think it's great competition in the squad at the moment, in quite a few different positions as well. So we did give a couple of opportunities to guys to see what they can do, and they came good as well, which is great for us to see. I like the fact that all of our players at the moment, they're playing the brand of cricket that we want to play. It's exciting brand of cricket as well. It's not maverick cricket, but it's certainly smart cricket as well. So our skill levels have been up quite a bit. So I think it can only be good for our squad if guys are challenging each other for spots. And yeah, you say headaches. It's a good headache to have when there's so many guys vying for positions, especially with the World Cup around the corner.
Thanks, Nathan. Zahir, then for those.
Well done, Mark. Just on both series wins. You touched on the depth and the competition. Do you feel that the fact that you got guys like Riley and Wayne back particularly, and also like if you look at Tessa and Simon as well, that the Carl Backs have made a big difference in terms of just not particularly the starting levels, but just the depth in South African cricket?
Absolutely. I think if you look at their performances, they've been good performers for us. Since they've come back in, the attitudes have been fantastic in the setups. So yeah, I think they definitely have added a different dimension to South African cricket, especially for the Proteas. And as I said, when you got guys like that coming in and performing, there's no space for a guy to sort of rest. Players they keep challenging for selection, for spots, and it can only push players to different heights. And I think you've seen a little bit of that in this last tour as well. And I think it's a very healthy place for South African cricket to be in.
Thanks, Zahir. For those.
Hi, Bouch. Well done. Bouch, I guess you don't want to tell us everything, but there would be a few interesting selection headaches that you referred to. Can you give us an idea of the kinds of things you're going to think about before the World Cup?
I don't want to give out too much. I think that's strategy that I wouldn't want to give away. All I can say about that is, I'm a part of a selection panel, and we've got some tough choices to make, and I'm sure we'll be able to make those. As I said, there's a lot of guys competing. Unfortunately, you can only take 15 to a World Cup, and we're going to have to look at the opposition that we're playing again and make some smart decisions on who we select for that World Cup. As I said, it's a very good position for us to be in, but the panel is going to have to knuckle down and select 15 that we believe is going to come home with a trophy.
Thanks for those. Nathan, before your follow-up, we'll go Lloyd, and then if there is anyone else who'd like to take a question, and then as we look to wrap up the press conference.
Thanks, Lucy. Well done, Mark. Obviously, tough competition at the top there. Can you speak specifically to a guy like Reza? I suppose, with Timber out of the equation, I don't know if that would have been where he would
have battered throughout this leg of your preparation. But you give a guy like that a chance and say, go, stake a claim, make some runs. I mean, what more can you ask of a guy like that? Just speak specifically to Reza and what he's done over this tour.
Yeah, Reza's really come good on this tour. Winning 2 Man of the Series in a row. I think, we always known that Reza can play, and he's been a fantastic player. I think it's just the way that he's gone about it. Maybe a touch different mindset, being a little bit more aggressive. I think that's what's really stood out. Very happy for Reza. As I said, he's a good player. He stayed hungry, I think, which is good as well. 4 50s in a row, that's doing something special in T20 cricket. I'm not too sure how many players have done that. And against good opposition as well. So very happy for Reza and the way he's played, but also the manner in which he's played as well.
Thanks, Lloyd. We're going to go Ken, then wrap up with Nathan and Zahir.
Thanks, Lucy. How's it, Mark? Well done. Mark, when it comes to selection, are you the sort of coach who looks a lot at statistics like strike rate or economy rate, or is it more of a gut feel type thing for you as to which players you want at the World Cup?
Selection for a World Cup, I mean, I think you've got to go a little bit of both. So you go on gut feel, but stats don't lie as well. So I think that you've got to look at that and try to balance out a team of looking at the stats, looking at the conditions that you're going to play in. So that becomes a bit of a factor as well. As I said before, when you're selecting a World Cup squad, it's a panel that sits down and selects who they think is going to be the best. As a coach, I can put in some sort of strategies in place on how we want to play and what we've got to do in different conditions. Australia's different conditions. We're playing on different grounds as well. Some are big, some are a little bit smaller. So that's a sort of strategy that will come from me. But it's up to the panel to select on who the characters that they want to take to a World Cup. I think, as I said, we're in a good position now where we can have these discussions. I think probably a year or so ago, we wouldn't be having these discussions. I think there's a lot more depth in our setup at the moment, which is good.
Thanks, Ken. Nathan, then Zahir.
Mark, now back onto England with the 3 tests coming up. What will the approach be or goals be for this test series, especially coming off strong performances with the white ball?
Well, hopefully go out and win. I'm not going to give my strategy away. I think that'd be stupid. We know the way that the England guys have been playing. I don't see them changing at all. We'll have to see what the conditions provide us with. There's no science to it. I think that you've got to be quite artistic in the way that you go about things, see the conditions and sort of adapt accordingly. So, we believe that we've got a strong test setup, especially our bowling attack. So, yeah, if our batters can get some good time in the middle in the next couple of days, and get into some good form, I think it's going to stand us in good stead for the test matches going forward. I think it should be a good test series as well. We've got some good momentum going into the test series, which I think is important, and the confidence is definitely there in the dressing room at the moment.
Thanks, Nathan. Zahir.
Mark, once again, you touched on it about the batters. You obviously have what you're doing with the guys, and you also have a batting coach. Just how has South Africa's batting just transformed in one-day cricket, and at least in T20 cricket over the last 18 months, from a side that wasn't looking at 200 now posting at region?
I think it's a lot of hard work behind closed doors. I said a year or so ago that we needed to upskill ourselves, so we've done that to a certain degree. I think that we play the conditions. We try to be smart. You would have seen the other day in Hampshire, the field is really big. We knew hitting sixes was going to be tough. We knew that we could still post a score around 200 if we played it smart, so that's exactly what we did. It's not maverick cricket, it's playing the conditions on the day. So I think that's where we've sort of put out a blueprint on how to get runs in different conditions and different wickets that we see. I think Justin Salmons has been fantastic with our batters as well. He sort of put together the blueprints and also has had very important individual conversations with certain players. I mean, I can only credit him for Reza. I know that he's been chatting and working very hard with Reza back in Joburg as well. So, having him around has been fantastic for this group, and it's showing in the results with regards to the batting as well.
Thanks. The last one from Dindy, and then that concludes this evening's press conference.
Thanks, Lucy. Just update on KG Rabada, and if he's not ready, is there a time frame on him?
KG, he bowled a bit today. He's going to be bowling tomorrow. He seems to be fine. We'll gradually try working back. His loads are a little bit low at the moment, but we'll do everything we can in our power to try and get him fit for the first test. I think that's the biggest priority with regards to our test side at the moment, is to get KG firing. We know what an important part of the team is, and so that's our biggest, not concern, but our biggest goal now is to try and get him fit for the first test.